hail hammers the southeast, severe storms sweep across the region. We'll bring you the incredible pictures. Leaders pound the pavement in their last bid to win your vote, just 1 hour until counting begins. The push to reopen Queensland to Greater Sydney, why tourism operators are fearing a bleak Christmas. And fireworks fizzle. New Year's Eve and Australia Day shows cancelled because of COVID.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Katrina Blowers.
Hello and welcome. Severe storms have overshadowed this year's election, with parts of the southeast hammered by hail. Let's go to Georgie Chumbley. Georgie, there was damage around Gatton and Jimboomba.
That's right, and here in Springfield Lakes there is damage as far as the eye can see. Look at this car, it's been completely smashed, and there are hundreds more cars exactly like this dotted across this suburb. RACQ has already received hundreds of calls, and the SES is now responding to thousands of calls for help for roofs that have been smashed, particularly tiled roofs. Hail so heavy it's smashed right through the roofs, into bathrooms and into bedrooms. We spoke to residents earlier about how terrifying this all was.
We heard it coming up the valley and it was like a bomb hit the area. The huge hail, so much damage. Our roof has got holes in it.
Did damage to the car, did damage to my nephew's car. It was, pretty big.
So these storms came through Amberley, the Lockyer Valley, Laidley, many other places. It was one violent supercell made up of 9 different storms. Hail ranging from 4 to 13 centimetres. Hillcrest saw hail as large as 13 centimetres, and 30,000 homes have lost power. We'll bring you more incredible pictures and the clean-up later tonight at 6.
Just extraordinary. Thank you, Georgie. Well, Paul Burt joins us now. And Bertie, the storm also battered the Gold Coast.
Yeah, absolutely there, Katrina. It pretty much started about 2 o'clock this afternoon. In a combined total across the southeast, we've had just on 200,000 lightning strikes on top of the 1 million we've had since the recent storms earlier this week. So it really has been a powerhouse of a week for weather. And of course, with that, have a look at the system. You can see it as it combined with that surface trough, a cold front pushing across the southeast. And that's evident with the radar as those cells started to bring more hail, heavy winds, rain, etc. over the past several hours. So there's more to come over the next hour or two. But good news there, Katrina, as we wake tomorrow morning, it'll be sunny with blue skies on the forecast. More details for you shortly.
Right, see you soon. Well, of course, it is election day, and it has been an election like no other, with COVID causing a record number of Queenslanders to pre-poll. In less than 1 hour, booths will close and counting begins to determine who will be our Premier for the next 4 years. Joel Dry has more.
Well, after 4 weeks of campaigning from one end of Queensland to the other, there is really just one thing left for the Premier to do, and she is about to do it here in her home electorate. The Premier decided to stay local overnight, and this morning, she began her day at a polling booth in Aspley, trying to win over any undecided voters. There was time for a quick coffee before she came here to Inala, presumably to vote for herself.
Thank you. Thank you, Premier. Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Excellent, done. Look, I've been overwhelmed. Everyone's been coming up saying thank you for keeping us safe, and that's been my #1 priority, to look after Queenslanders.
209,000 unemployed, 209,000 people out of work, Premier. It's about time it stopped. Open the borders.
There, you've heard it exactly today. That's their secret.
That's what the LNP are campaigning on today at polling booths, about opening the polling booth.
It was a different story for the opposition leader, Deb Frecklington. Last night, she took the very unusual step of flying north to Townsville, where she began the day again this morning, and again, very unusually, decided to vote in the electorate of Mundingborough, well over 1,000 kilometres from her home in Nanango.
And the electorate's Nanango.
2, 1, release.
There you go.
Done.
Both Deb Frecklington and Anastasia Palaszczuk will both bunker down with their teams now to await the first results to trickle in. The next time we see either leader could be for one of them to claim the job of Premier of Queensland.
Marlena Wapp joins us now from City Hall. And Marlena, as we mentioned, the counting will begin in less than an hour.
Yes, Katrina, not long to go now. We've still had some voters trickling through City Hall, but from 6 p.m. sharp, polling booths across Queensland will close. The Electoral Commission of Queensland has reminded people if you're still in line at 6 o'clock, please stay there because you can still vote. So I guess a reminder for anyone rushing during the rain this afternoon in the southeast. So once the polling booths close, the ballot box seals will be broken so counting can start. The ECQ has confirmed it'll get started on the record number of early votes plus the votes from today, and 400,000 postal votes across Queensland are ready to be counted tonight. So a long and interesting night ahead. Counting will take place until late into the night. Katrina.
Thank you, Marlena. Well, South Brisbane remains one of the most contentious seats this election. Isabel Mullen joins us live. Izzy, Jackie Trad admits she is in the fight of her life.
She really is, Katrina, and Labor can't afford to lose many seats in the southeast, particularly seats they've held for so long. South Brisbane has long been a Labor seat. They've held it since 1977. Jackie Trad first came into the job in 2012. She was re-elected in 2015 before going on to become Deputy Premier and then the Treasurer. But she got into trouble in May this year when she was investigated by the CCC for allegedly interfering with the hiring of a local school principal. We've seen right throughout this campaign that the Premier hasn't stood by her. She's distanced herself from Jackie Trad, saying that she won't allow her to come back into Cabinet if she does remain in government. The ones to watch tonight will be the Greens with candidate Amy McMahon. Katrina.
Thanks, Izzy. And tonight, 7 News will give you a front row seat to the election action with the first election broadcast from Parliament House. Sharon Gadella is on the floor of Parliament right now.
Well, your votes will determine the makeup of Parliament House. There are 93 seats on offer. 47 is the magic number that one party needs to secure to gain government for the next 4 years. And joining us for our coverage tonight is 7 political editor Mark Riley. And Riles, Queensland politics, it's always interesting.
Never dull, Sharon, and tonight it will be a very interesting night. An election in two, essentially, one here in the southeast where seats will be swapped between the major parties and another one north of Rocky. If Labor loses 2 or 3 seats there, we're in for a really gripping night. I can see more paths for Labor to win, fewer for the LNP, but strap yourself in.
Well, we'll see if you're right soon. And joining us tonight is an expert panel which will give you analysis throughout the night. And Max, you also have something else special for our viewers.
We do, quite aside from this magnificent building where we'll be broadcasting from tonight, Sharon. We thought as we write another page in Queensland's history, what better time to sit down and go through the major events that have shaped the Sunshine State. So we've assembled a jury of 7 great Queenslanders, people like Quentin Bryce, Mal Meninga, Peter Beattie, and they've ranked those 20 major events from 20 to 1, and we'll work our way through them during tonight's broadcast.
Sounds pretty good. Well, Katrina, I think you'll agree it's going to be a big night here at Parliament House.
It certainly is. So coming up soon, 7 News live from Parliament House from 6, followed by our special election night event at 7. Our powerhouse panel includes federal political editor Mark Riley plus state political editor Patrick Lyon, former Premier Rob Borbidge, Treasurer Cameron Dick, plus 7 Queensland greats count down the 20 events that shaped our state. Don't miss, it's a big night of Queensland viewing. Queensland's tourism industry remains baffled by the decision to exclude Greater Sydney from a reopened border next month. Operators desperate to get back to work fear any more delays will have serious consequences on Christmas bookings. Elliot Chipper has more.
More than 24 hours on from a highly anticipated decision on the Queensland border, many have been left disappointed and dejected. From November 1, Queensland is open for business to New South Wales unless you come from Greater Sydney. And for businesses in Surfers Paradise, that's not enough to fill empty seats.
At this time of year, they're generally our biggest customers in Surfers.
Carol has been working on the Glitter Strip for 25 years and has never seen it this bad.
We're probably looking at about 70 to 80% down.
Already closed to the 5 million people living in Greater Sydney for 3 months, it will be at least another month until this border decision is reviewed.
If we wait that long to open a very important market, Greater Sydney, that will be devastating for the industry in Queensland.
The industry begging for clarity so they can start planning as fears grow that ongoing delays ahead of the Christmas period will see holidaymakers go elsewhere. Catch the full story on 7 News at 6 o'clock, including how much this decision could end up costing the state of Queensland.
Brisbane has cancelled its New Year's Eve fireworks at South Bank. Organisers say there's not enough room for revellers to socially distance. Other councils are still contemplating their plans, as Rosanna Kingson explains.
Nearly 100,000 people descend on South Bank alone for New Year's Eve fireworks, and council says it's an impossible task to try and maintain social distancing. Cancelling not only the end-of-year display but also Australia Day fireworks. Residents are being encouraged to celebrate in the suburbs instead, and there'll be extra security at the parklands to ensure any people who do come down are 1.5 metres apart.
Like, it's sad, of course, but I still think it's a smart idea.
We have to keep people healthy, and it's not a huge sacrifice to make, but it is a sacrifice.
It is a shame, but we understand why it's all happening.
Council opposition is supportive of the decision but has called for the money saved to be spent elsewhere.
We want to see that money that otherwise would have been spent on fireworks put into curbside collection.
Sunshine Coast Council has also cancelled their New Year's fireworks, while the Gold Coast is still considering its options for holding a COVID-safe public event. The decisions come after several councils cancelled their displays last year because of the bushfires. Fireworks operators promise there will still be some displays on New Year's Eve. We'll have more details tonight from 6 o'clock.
See the vision of a violent robbery at Burpengary. Why police believe this man could help solve the case. Buildings collapse, dozens trapped. A powerful earthquake hits Turkey and Greece. And COVID cases in the UK soar. How the country's leaders plan to manage the second wave.
The biggest events in our history.
Stories that shaped Queensland. Some you'll remember.
Others you'll never forget.
20 historic events.
We count them down.
An exclusive election night event.
Queensland greats will cast their votes on the top 20 events that shaped our state.
The greatest moments of our past.
And the race to lead us into the future.
Live from Parliament House, Queensland 2020. Tonight at 7, only on 7.
It's time to shake up election night.
Live from inside Parliament House.
Instant results, expert predictions.
Queensland greats will cast their votes on the top 20 events that shaped our state.
The race to lead us into the future.
And the greatest moments of our past.
Queensland 2020, tonight at 7 on 7.
At RACQ Bank, we put you before profits. That's why our Mortgage Saver home loan has a low variable rate of 2.77%. For a home lender that puts you first, choose RACQ Bank, where there's more for members.
The biggest caravan and outdoor sale starts Thursday, October 29 at the Brisbane Showgrounds. Caravans, motorhomes, camper trailers and more.
October 29 to November 1st. Buy your tickets now, online only at caravanqld.com.au.
When you don't want to leave your car, choose Domino's new car park delivery. It's pick up delivered for no extra charge. Bring it in.
Maybe we could find ways to call time out on our kids' busy routines before they get sick. But if they do, Children's Panadol can start to reduce fever in just 15 minutes. Together, let's rethink care.
Bring the work home. Bring the family home. Bring the party home. Bring the game home. Bring the holiday home. Discover space to live at Birchwood Estate in Park Ridge.
The biggest caravan and outdoor sale starts Thursday, October 29 at the Brisbane Showgrounds. Caravans, motorhomes, camper trailers and more.
October 29 to November 1st. Buy your tickets now, online only at caravanqld.com.au.
Get off work. Get on board. Get on track. What's on? A night off. Fun on. Blow off plans? Stay on the couch? Come on, play on. Onto this, off to that. Hold on. Drive on and on. Off the beaten track, off-road, on-road, off-road. Whatever you're into. Skoda. Simply clever.
Police are trying to track down a man who may be able to help solve a violent robbery at the Burpengary Tavern. Two men armed with meat cleavers stormed the venue on Tuesday. They threatened staff and patrons before fleeing with cash. Officers want to speak to a man who was filling up at a service station in Buval on the afternoon of the robbery. He was in a black Kia hatchback with Queensland registration 262ZET. Rescuers continue to dig through the rubble of dozens of collapsed buildings after a powerful earthquake struck Greece and Turkey. In the town of Izmir, at least 17 people are confirmed dead. Hugh Whitfeld has the latest.
The rescue operation has continued well into the night in Izmir, Turkey's third largest city, that bore the brunt of this earthquake that struck in the Aegean Sea, close to the Greek island of Samos and just off Izmir. So far, more than 70 people have been pulled alive from the rubble of the more than 20 buildings that have collapsed in Izmir. Many of them are older than 20 years. A lot of the newer apartment blocks are still standing. But it's not just the earthquake that caused damage, but a mini tsunami too. A strong sea surge that flooded streets in Izmir and also communities on the Greek island of Samos, not too far away. Two teenagers on Samos were killed. They were walking home from school when they were struck by a falling wall. These two countries don't always get along, Greek and Turkey, but their leaders have committed to working with each other to come through this, especially when it comes to those rescue and potential recovery efforts in the coming days. There have been multiple aftershocks felt too right across the region. The original earthquake felt as far away as Istanbul and Athens.
An opera singer in Nice has performed the country's national anthem from lockdown in memory of the victims of the terror attack at a Catholic church. But while France mourns, parts of the Muslim world are outraged. In Afghanistan, protesters burned images of President Macron and vowed to always defend the Prophet Muhammad. The UK government is considering a strict lockdown in England, with the COVID spread worse than its own predictions for a worst-case scenario. More than 24,000 cases were recorded in the past 24 hours. Scientists say without a shutdown, as many as 80,000 people could die in the second wave. Well, Ben's here with all the sport and our cricketers are in action.
That's right, Katrina, both the Bulls and the Heat. G'day everyone, the WBBL champs battling the rain while Queensland have the Blues in the spin. But the tables are turned in Origin. Look who's been past fit for Game 1. And a story for the ages from Flemington, the legendary AFL coach, now a legendary trainer, taking out the derby.
It's time to shake up election night.
In a blockbuster live event.
Instant results, expert predictions.
And the other biggest countdown of the year.
Queensland greats will cast their votes on the top 20 events that shaped our state.
Two big countdowns on one historic night.
Live from inside Parliament House. The race to lead us into the future.
And the greatest moments of our past.
Queensland 2020. Tonight at 7. Only on 7.
Not one woman has got across this. So today I want to make it that day.
Oh, be the first. Be the first.
Absolutely shredded my nuts. Do not let go of that rope. Get up there.
This is the course of finding out how much grit and determination they really have.
SAS Australia, Monday 7:30 on 7.
Well, it's time for wrinkles. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair. We've got the retinol that gives you results in 1 week. Not just any retinol, accelerated retinol SA. 1 week, it's all it takes. Neutrogena.
Say hello to great skin with selected half-price Neutrogena, Skin Doctors, Goat, Swiss Skincare and Banana Boat. Plus there's 40% off the Bioderma and Aven range. Chemist Warehouse salon treatments with great savings every day.
Hungry Jack's free limited edition glasses. Get a free Hungry Jack's glass with any large meal. Collect all 5 colours at Hungry Jack's.
You wash loads, but do you ever wash your washing machine? Every load leaves behind grime and, ugh, what's that smell? Pino Clean Washing Machine Cleaner removes 99.9% of germs, leaving it clean and fresh for longer. It's not clean unless it's Pino Clean.
I flatlined, my heart stopped.
You often think to yourself, what if this was my mother or my wife?
You see the kids getting out of school, they're doing the stop, look, listen and think, and it's so humbling to know, oh, I've actually made a difference today.
There's a lot of people struggling out here. He literally broke down crying and he was just so grateful that people actually cared.
Together, we can do more for Queenslanders. That's what it means to be a member of RACQ.
Why are Nature's Way Adult Vita Gummies hair, skin and nails seriously good? Is it healthy, shiny hair, radiant, beautiful skin, or stronger nails? Seriously? All 3. Your all-in-one beauty Vita Gummy. Seriously.
The Maroons will have to face their modern-day tormentor in the Origin opener, with Blues Dally M fullback James Tedesco declaring himself a certain starter after passing a fitness test on his troublesome knee this morning.
Yeah, I was always pretty clear in my mind from the start of the week that I was going to play. Obviously, I had to take the physical side of it, but yeah, got through everything today and get through it again on Monday.
New South Wales had already lost Stormback fullback Ryan Pappenhausen to a calf injury. The Maroons train tomorrow at Robina before Wednesday night's Game 1 in Adelaide. Rain is again threatening the Heat's tilt at a WBBL three-peat with their Hurricanes match suspended due to the wet. Taking a knee for Black Lives Matter, Hobart had Brisbane on their knees. Georgia Redmayne bowled second ball, but Matty Green and Jess Jonathan fought back, smacking 57 off 8 overs.
And that has been crunched through extra cover. What a fantastic stroke that is.
2 for 80 before the heavens opened up. If washed out, other teams could leapfrog them. In Adelaide, the Bulls posted 298 on day 2 of their Shield match against the Blues. Stark grabbed 4 for, despite spinner Mitch Swepson picking up 2. New South Wales trailed by 50 just a short time ago. The Melbourne Cup Carnival started with a Cummins victory, but it was at Rosehill for Sydney's $7.5 million Golden Eagle, where Colette beat Ice Bath in a photo for Bart's grandson, James. Cup week started with an empty Flemington and an incredible sporting story. AFL coaching great Dennis Pagan started training just 4 months ago. This afternoon, he won the 166th Victoria Derby with the maiden he owns called Johnny Get Angry.
But Johnny Get Angry for an outstanding sporting double.
Had a good lunch yesterday. Probably had too much to drink, and I thought this will just come along. I didn't expect this, and it's happened.
How good. Pagan called it 10 times better than his 2 premierships with North Melbourne. But the only German trainer to win the Melbourne Cup will be back on Tuesday after Andreas Waller's Ash run charged home in the Hotham. Back at 6 with all the cricket details too, Katrina.
Good stuff. See you later. Well, still to come, a whale of a show, the stunning spectacle that brightened a family fishing trip.
And we've got some hail falling here on the Gold Coast. All your stormy details after the break.
The biggest cities in the country are facing off. Elise Perry and his Sydney Sixers take on Melbourne.
Oh, what a catch!
But first, the reigning champs return. Brisbane do battle with Sydney Thunder.
That is as good as it gets.
A huge day of Women's Big Bash tomorrow on 7 Mate.
For a limited time, get a free small fries and Coke with the Fiery McSpicy or the Seriously Saucy Palmy Burger. You're going to need them.
It's Amart Furniture's Ready Set Sale. Right now, save up to $300 on this comfy lounge and save $100 off this modern dining suite. Hurry, limited time only. Visit amart.com.au.
You've never seen a kitchen appliance store like Brisbane Appliance Sales. Customer experience is our priority with over 80 years combined industry knowledge. Brisbane Appliance Sales are a true family business. Come and meet the team in Nogra Road, Newmarket.
Fetch ESPN.
Fetch Discovery. Fetch them all on one simple menu. All your entertainment, easy. Fetch.
The world's most exotic fragrances are made by nature. That's why we've created Botanica fragrances, infused with natural ingredients that are responsibly sourced. Botanica by Airwick.
Introducing Voltaren Osteo Gel 12-hourly. With just 2 applications a day, it gives you joint pain relief for the whole day and all night. Next time, why not try Voltaren Osteo Gel 12-hourly?
Shut up and take my money.
And there is only one...
I'm alive. Just kidding. I'm dead inside, emotionally. But that's neither here nor there. There's still only one cure for hungry, thirsty, and that's Oak. With its full strength and full taste, it's full on. Oh, Oak. Kill hungry, thirsty, dead.
Now, this must be the catch of the day. A family fishing in Tasmania got a spectacular view as several humpback whales and dolphins decided to put on a show. They counted 4 whales in all, and as the pod took off, they even got a wave goodbye. Well, let's get the latest on storms now. Here's Paul.
Yeah, thanks for that, Katrina. Hello, everybody. It certainly was a very stormy afternoon across the southeast. Upwards of 200,000 lightning strikes combined since around 2 o'clock this afternoon through to around now, just after 5. So a lot of activity out there. Radar even shows the evidence of that occurring, particularly as you saw the cells brewing throughout the afternoon and still to now. Today's temperatures held steady, highs of 32 for Ipswich, 31 in the city, and around 29 degrees coastal. To the charts now, you can see that surface trough pushing towards the east coast. A bit of a cold front associated with that. The trigger for the storms today, those hot northerly winds. Tomorrow, that'll move off the coast. Clear skies remain behind it, for a sunny end of the weekend. A couple of showers still for Sydney, 22. Mostly fine for those around the western parts of the country. Same for those in Cairns, Townsville and Mackay, highs of 32, 33. Further south, 35 for Rockhampton. A couple of morning showers to Rockhampton, also Gympie. Fine for Toowoomba and 28 back home. Clear day for us. Quite warm though, 34 degrees after the rain. It will be muggy tomorrow with the highs of 32 along the beach. Boaties, west-northwest winds, 15 knots, turning east-southeast later in the day. Tops of 33 in the city, looking good. And looking ahead just for the city, clear skies throughout the week, looking pretty good. And I'd have to say with that, Katrina, that cooler change coming through, not too bad, but at the moment we can expect more rumbles for the next several hours before those clear skies come through.
Thanks, Bertie. Well, that's all from us in 7's afternoon news. Stick around. Max and Sharon will bring you more live from Parliament House at 6 o'clock. Have a great night.
I got my drinks on ice. Ew.